Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Ethan and this week covers my language progress for January week 3, so the 15th through to the 21st. This week has really been a game of two halves. The first half of the week I felt a bit despondent, I wasn't confident that I was progressing, and it's completely nonsensical to feel that way because you can't constantly be improving every day, but I felt it nonetheless and I was like, well, should I change resources? Should I maybe try and change something? But lo and behold, it got to the 20th, so yesterday, and things just started to click into place in terms of reading comprehension. And this is kind of the first Eureka moment I've had in quite a while. The last one I can remember would have been May last year. I did 25 hours of Swedish in that month, and I did about 8.5 hours of reading. And I went from kind of knowing words to being able to comprehend sentences. And that was a massive jump for me because it went from, I guess, again, recognizing words to actually being able to read. I couldn't read well by any stretch, but I could read, and that was a huge leap. Yesterday was a very similar moment. Things just felt as though they were clicking into place a bit more, and it was definitely at least a small Eureka moment. And it's not a tangible and measurable thing, but you can definitely feel it, and it feels really good. These Eureka moments are really what encourages me to keep going forward. I know that if I keep plowing along, they will happen, and I just have to maintain and have faith in the process. If you put the work in, you'll get the results. Last week I mentioned that I had found a new news resource to read, and that due to that, filling in my hour allocation for reading was easy because there was always more than enough news to read. Now, coming to this week, I'm finishing all the news that I can read within about 45 to 50 minutes. So although that kind of, again, Eureka moment isn't very tangible, this is a real quantifiable and measurable way to kind of visualize my improvement and to just, reaffirm that it is definitely working. So this week I managed to do 14 hours and 46 minutes of study. So that's 7 hours and 15 for Netflix and 7 hours and 31 minutes of reading. I'm really happy with that. That's a good amount more than last week, which was 9 hours and 39 minutes. And my aim isn't to just improve the amount of time and increase the amount of time each week. But I do feel as though I can do this amount and even more. So I'm happy that I'm building up the amount I'm doing. In terms of reading, it's pretty much the same as last week. But finally, I actually managed to do at least an hour every day this week. So, and that also consisted of at least an hour of reading. So on top of that, I did watch a good amount of Netflix as well. But purely just going by reading, I managed to do an hour per day. So I'm really happy I'm actually finally reaching my target for the year. So speaking of Netflix, I managed to watch 10 episodes of Bonus Family this week. And that means I've completed season 1. I'd watched the first 3 episodes last week, watched the next 7, and I've actually watched the first 3 of season 2. And what can I say? Wow, that was one of the best season finales I've seen of any show ever. And maybe it's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but everything tied together without giving any spoilers away. But yeah, I really enjoyed how they actually finished it off. A lot of shows can be a bit bittersweet at the end, but I really enjoyed it myself. In a similar vein to my reading, my understanding of the last 2 episodes has, again, taken that little jump. And I just felt a lot more comfortable comprehending and keeping up with the subtitles, and I just felt as though I could follow a lot more of the context. It's definitely a combination of a few factors. I've watched a lot this week, so that helps. My vocabulary's expanding and broadening each day, and I'm doing a lot of reading practice, so yeah. It's actually also made it a lot more enjoyable as well. I found I was laughing a lot more regularly because I was getting, especially a lot of the jokes that are being told. I don't know, maybe this season's just funnier, but I felt as though my understanding actually contributed to my enjoyment as well. This week has also been really exciting as I've reached a few milestones. I've actually surpassed the amount of reading I did last year already. So in the last 3 weeks, I've done just over 22 hours of reading, and that's the same amount as I did in the entirety of last year, for Swedish anyway. And within that time frame, I managed to read about 8,500 more words. So it's another quantifiable way and measurable way of actually showing that my reading speed has definitely improved. Another milestone reached is 1,000 known words in Swedish on LingQ. So that's been one kind of a big milestone that I've been wanting to hit for a while. Middle of last month, I had reached 500 words, and it's just a nice round number, so that was satisfying anyway. As you can probably tell from these videos, I am a big fan of statistics, numbers, graphs, all that kind of stuff, and I find it really works for me and it encourages me to keep studying, especially when things are quantifiable, so the amount of words I know, the amount of hours I've read, whatever it may be, it's really fun. It's definitely not for everybody. I know some people would find it would add too much pressure and they would find it stressful, so I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but if you do like reaching goals and like something really tangible and analyzing statistics and all that kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend to start tracking your progress. It's fun. Overall, it's been a week with a lot of positive takeaways. There's nothing I really want to change for next week. I do aim to finish Bonus Family Season 2, and there's 7 episodes left, so that's perfectly achievable. And that's about it. It's stick to the reading, stick to Netflix, and to see how it goes. I am, however, tempted to do the 40-hour 7-day language challenge next week. And for those of you who don't know, it's a language challenge where you study 40 hours across a span of 7 days. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory and a pretty simple concept. And yeah, I'm really tempted to do that, but I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm not making any promises, I'm not committing to it. I would at least just kind of do a similar thing I've done this week, but yeah, it's really tempting. If I do go ahead with it, it will add a significant amount of hours for this month, and hopefully it will really push my progress. So yeah, ideally I will do it. That's about it for today. Thank you once again for watching, and hopefully see you next week. Bye for now.